This is Mancane Smalls, the Order Block Kings. I just want to show you how we catched entries this week, the past week on GBPJPY. As you know, I'm now trading only the GBPJPY. So this is the GBPJPY on our time frame. As you can see my arrows, that's where I catched entries. I catched 5 entries on GBPJPY, as you can see. So now I want us to go to 4-hour time frame, which is the date. To start with the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, you will find out that this thing, when you check it, is on a bullish trend. It's busy creating higher lows and higher highs. Only this time here, they didn't create the higher high, but they created liquidity there, for which, as you can see, a lot of people were selling there, for which they made a lot of profit on it, because it was a resistance. Remember me, I don't trade support and resistance. I'm trading order flow, which is I choose order flow under ICT. So this is the Order Block Kings. Right now I want to take you to the signals that I've got on GBPJPY. I'll break it down to H4 time frame so that you can see the reason why I was buying. So on H4 time frame, when I zoom out, you'll see that this was on a bullish trend. If I zoom out my chart, and you will see that they was respecting this trend line. This is my support, as you all said. But as for me, I draw this line so that I can see the trend of the market. The trend of the market is bullish. There's no way that I will want to sell the bullish trend. By saying that doesn't mean that I don't have to sell. So I catched a sell from here after breaking this low from this H4 order block there. I catched a sell there. I catched a sell there to break this to this hidden base, which was on 30 minutes time frame. Before I delete everything, I'll take you to M30 time frame so that you can see the zone. The zone was on M30 where the market started to change the character, but that's not my time frame where I analyze. So I go to H1 so that you can see I catched an entry on H1 here. So right now, allow me to delete everything so that you will see the reason why I bought this thing. So on GBPJPY, I bought this trade here. The reason I bought here, I saw that the market is on a bullish trend from the bigger time frames. This is the change of character or break of structure. It's fine with me, because now it's the same thing with just different names. So this is my change. This is my break of structure, because I like to say break of structure. This was the low of this high. The market, if the market wanted to sell, was supposed to respect this, but it didn't. Because why? It's coming from a bigger time frame, which is daily time frame and H4 time frame. So on H1, we catched an entry there. After catching the first entry there, I was like, okay, we catched an entry there. This was my first entry of this trade. I catched an entry there. Then I break it to smaller time frame to find a second entry time frame, a second entry on this GBPJPY trade. So on this one, you will see that we failed to break this low here. We failed to break the low there. So since we failed to break the low there, we broke this high there, which give us another what? Break of structure to the upside. Remember, the trend is bullish. We are coming from a bigger time frame, which is H4 zone. So I'll break it to smaller time frames in order for you to see the reason why I was buying this. Then this was another entry on GBPJPY. As you all know, if you don't know, I'm now trading GBPJPY only. Then this was another supply zone to sell from. The market broke the supply zone on M15, but I don't want to talk about it. I will just delete this and take you to bigger time frames. So on bigger time frames, I catch an entry there. My target was this supply zone. The reason why I targeted this after these entries, I targeted this. Why? Remember the rules of order flow. We are trading from one order block to another, for which this was a clean order block. Anything can happen in the market from this, even though I saw that the bullish is the trend is bullish from the bigger time from daily and H4. They are coming from the daily big order block and H4 order block. So this was my fake supply zone, so, or fake order block. So this one I catched an entry there. Then I was like, okay, cool, since I catched an entry there, on smaller time frames we have an entry around this, for which I will show you. We catched this entry. I catched this entry because now I'm trading all by myself. I catched an entry there. So on smaller time frames, if you break it on smaller time frames, you will realize that on M15, I will take you to M15 so that you can see this was a supply zone on M15. Remember, I showed you this order block on what, on 1 hour. So since it was on our time frame, I saw this as an order block of 30 minutes. I catched an entry there. The reason why, this is this demand zone that broke the supply, for which we said what is S2D, for which is supply to demand. Supply is losing control to a demand area, for which this was the demand area, broke this supply zone of the H1 and the M15. So I catched an entry there, for which my target was this high. So we broke this high, right? So now I want to take you with me again. Then this is another order block that broke the structure there, So now I will show you, we broke this structure here, this high, we broke it, right? After breaking that, as you can see, the market failed to tap here on this broker, but on other brokers they tapped there. So I was like, okay, since they tapped there already, on my other broker I was triggered, on others I didn't trigger they didn't trigger my trades. Then I was like, okay, now on M15, where do I have an order block with a strong impulsive that broke the structure, which was this one. So on Friday I catched an entry again there. Why? Because it broke the structure here. This was the high of the low that they created, for which is this. Then they broke this, then I catched an entry there. That's the area where you are supposed to catch an entry. Then it's like, okay, cool. So now the market is bullish, right? So we need to follow the trend and what the market is giving us. So since that, I was like, okay, cool. Now what is it that we have? We need to target this zone there. Then there was NFP on Friday. As you know, the NFP, the NFP news didn't even give me another option whether it's gonna sell or what. I was like, I'm going with the trend, I'm buying it again. So this is the order block. I was like, okay, cool. Now this is the low, the high that we have. So the market came back, and then, as you know, or if you saw my Facebook posts, I entered again as a buy from this to target the high. So now I will take you to H4 so that you can see my target. My target was this high here. Sorry, this is not the right thing. This was my target there. Sorry, it's fine. I'll take this here. This was my target there. The reason why I'm targeting that is because on other brokers you'll find that there's an order block there. We have an order block there. On even on H1, my target was on H1 there. I targeted that zone. As you can see my arrow, I targeted that zone. That's where I closed all my trades from the GBPJPY. So on right now, I want us to go to daily time frame to see the next move on GBPJPY. So as you can see, this is now a support zone where I'm expecting the market to continue with the trend of the GBPJPY. So now I'm expecting this trend to give me something from this zone. So I'm targeting that zone right now. So what is it that I'm going to do? I'm going to go to H4 time frame. What is it that we have on H4? I will delete everything so that you can see what is it that I have on H4 time frame. You will see that we have an order block here that broke the structure on H4 with this low. They respected this low. So now what is it that I'm expecting? And I'm expecting GBPJPY to retest this zone here and then create a new lower low, a new higher high. Sorry, I'm just trading with the trend. So I'll put my line around that zone there. or even in the week there. That's where I'm targeting my thing. So on H4 time frame, that's where I'm targeting my trade. I'm gonna wait for it to retest that zone, then I'm gonna take it there. So this is my GBPJPY trade that I was trading the whole week. As you can see, the results were amazing. The results were amazing on this one. We're still gonna follow the trend until we reach that 196,800. We're gonna put our TP once we catch an entry there on 800. 800 is fine. We're gonna put our TP on 800, for which is they are busy creating higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, with the breaking the fake supply zones, for which is our fake bearish order blocks. So as you all know, this is Mancane Small's recap of the market for the past week. Hope you will all learn from this video. Thank you.